So, welcome Amal-san to the J-MENA platform. We are glad to meet you and to get the chance to meet you, and so you can share your experience with the J-MENA project.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure for me, and thank you for the invitation.
Thank you so much. So, first of all, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Amal Labidi. I'm from Tunisia. I graduated from the mechanical department at Nagaoka University of Technology in Niigata.
Yeah, congratulations for your graduation, and I wish you all the best.
Thank
you. Maybe today is special that Amal-san is from Tunisia. We don't have many students from Tunisia. So we are glad to hear from you your successful experience in Japan.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's my pleasure.
Yeah. So you came from Tunisia and you study in Japan. So maybe the basic question, why you chose Japan?
Oh, that's a good question. There are many reasons why I chose Japan. I was always interested in the Japanese culture. I don't know, everything looks so unique, so special. So it was like a dream for me to visit Japan, and I got the chance to live here. So it was an opportunity not to
miss.
Exactly, yeah.
Especially in Tunisia, we know that the majority of students, they go to Europe or Canada. So going to Japan is not it's not very common. It's not very popular idea.
Yeah, that's true actually. But yeah, among my friends, I know you went to Japan. Actually, I think we applied at the same time, but for me it took longer because it's master studies. And also I have one cousin who got the MEX scholarship. You know her, Noor Shebi?
Noor Shebi?
Yes. Actually, she's from
your surroundings, your family.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, the idea of going to study in Japan, it's not like something very scary, or I see people going, and it was so interesting. So so I applied for scholarship, and I was really looking forward to go. It's not like I didn't get the idea to go to Europe or to Canada, but I found there are some scholarships for Japan, so for me it's more interesting.
It's more interesting.
Yeah.
Something special, something
exactly
new.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, Amal-san and I, we studied together at the same engineering school. So
and it's so good to see you again.
So
really, I'm so happy.
Yes, it's very. We are very excited.
Exactly.
So yeah, and when you came to Japan, you studied in Niigata.
Yeah.
So we know in Niigata the weather conditions and lifestyle is totally different from Mediterranean countries like our country Tunisia. So how could you manage to settle your life there? And
yeah, actually the funny thing, the day I arrived from Tunisia to Japan, there was a typhoon and I got stuck in Tokyo for 3 days. I was like, oh my god, what is this weather? And it was in September and it was so humid. So I felt the difference from the first,
the beginning.
Yeah, from the beginning. And then in Niigata, I love the cold. I prefer the cold, but the humidity is really annoying in summer. In winter, it's not very humid, but we have huge amounts of snow. It's snowing all the time, or raining, or cloudy. So at first I liked it, but after a while it became a little bit depressing, So yeah, the weather is a little bit of a problem for me.
Yes.
But we can enjoy the ski, the ski in Nagaoka. It's really amazing. So with my friends I ski every week technically. So yeah, it has its good side,
positive
also.
sides.
Yeah, exactly.
And especially Japan is it has in each region it has its own weather style, weather conditions, so you can select the prefecture where you would like to live.
Exactly, it's really different. And the problem is when I was in Tunisia and I was trying to check the weather and everything, I didn't get the idea of checking the humidity and the rain and stuff like that. I was just checking the temperature. I said, oh, okay, it's okay.
It's almost similar.
It's
exactly.
perfect. It's not very hot, not very cold. But yeah, it's really different. But yeah, we get used to it.
Exactly.
You know? But with our body, African body, I think it's still a problem.
But that's very good that you get used to things, so you can get used to the lifestyle and adapt and to the food and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. The food, that's another story. Let's get back to that later.
We can talk about it. It's like how could you manage, or did you like the Japanese food from the beginning, sushi, the raw fish?
Honestly, I loved the Japanese food from the first day I came here. I was eating the sushi. I was so excited to try new things. But the problem, you know, in North Africa and maybe in Middle East as well, we eat a lot of vegetables and fruits and bread. Here, those are the things that you cannot find easily. They're so expensive. You cannot allow yourself to eat those stuff every day. So after a while, like, okay, I like Japanese food, I was enjoying it, but after a while, where is the real food? Until now, like after 3 years, I'm still not really used to eating only rice and seafood, and it's tasty, but I feel like it's something missing, you know. I need vegetables, I need fruits, I need bread, the good bread.
So, that's normal, because like the background of our culture and everything.
Exactly, yeah.
But like you can find everything is available.
Course,
just
you can find it, but like how to say it, like it's our diet from like from our childhood. Like it's not easy to change it. Even I have some Japanese friends who went to Europe like recently, and it was like 3 or 4 weeks, and they are like, we are missing the rice. Where is the rice? Like the rice, the Japanese rice is kind of sticky, so it's a little bit different, you know. So I think everyone, if you change like their diet or something for a while, like they will they will.
It's normal. But at the end, we always say like it's worth it to go to a new place.
Of course,
to leave your comfort zone and to learn
new things and trying new things. I think this is like really important, and it helps you grow and you discover new things. Sometimes I don't know, like there are some stuff I didn't have the chance to try them before, and when I tried them in Japan, I feel like it matches my personality, and I fit here better than like my culture, and we should try new things. The weather and the food, it can be a little bit of problem, but we can adapt, and we can like there are more good things than
with the activities and the lifestyle and the Japanese culture. You at the end you are enjoying, even though like something is not. It's new for you, but at the end,
of course, otherwise I won't be here.
So since you came to Japan, you applied for scholarship or for the program you are interested in. So can you share with us how did you get your scholarship to come and study in Japan?
Okay, so first I got JICA scholarship. The program is it's ABU initiative program. It's a scholarship meant for government workers or also for private sectors workers. It aims to help the companies in Africa. It's only for Africans to grow and to develop. So basically, like the workers, they can apply for this scholarship, and they need the form like consentment from their employer. That they accept them to go to do the master studies in Japan, and most of the workers, they can keep their position in their country. Like it's like you come here for 2 years and a half or 3 years, and you can do your master and you can experience Japan, and you go back to your country and you still have your position. So that's really interesting. For me, like I resigned from my work because it's private. It's private.
Bye Tunisia.
No, it was not like that. But I think the government, how to say it, like government companies or something, they accept this concept, you know, because they know JICA, they know.
Yes.
For me, I was working in private sector. I was working with French people. They have no idea about it. They don't care. So I didn't even try to convince them or anything. Like I didn't want to have any.
Yes, yes.
And plus, like for the government workers, like. Sometimes they have families, they need salary.
Yes.
The government keeps giving
paying.
them, paying them, and they are in here taking the scholarship. So I don't expect that from like a private company. Exactly.
Exactly. So that's really good and interesting for those in Tunisia or in like the African countries.
All Africa, it's really interesting
to get the scholarship. And come and enjoy the life in Japan, even though it's humid. There is no bread.
No, this is not a big deal. Like the humidity, we can manage.
Of course.
Yeah.
So once you come to Japan, and everything is different, the culture, and we are coming from from MENA area countries. Like we have the religion and everything.
Yeah.
So how did you face? For example, how did you manage to find halal food? How the Japanese people reaction toward you, like coming from different culture? How was that with you?
Honestly, like I hear a lot of people talking about cultural shock. I didn't really get that. Maybe because before coming to Japan, I watched a lot of videos. I tried to know everything. So it's like I already have the image. So I expected it to be so good. And for the food and everything, it was a little bit different. I enjoyed it, but honestly, it's not a big problem for me finding halal food because I don't eat meat. I'm not vegetarian. I eat fish, but it was not really a problem, you know.
Yes.
And in my university, we have in the cafeteria, you can ask for the halal menu, and there are a lot of Malaysians and Indonesian. I met them from my first days, and they recommended some places.
Yes.
And I think in big cities, there are halal shops and restaurants everywhere. In Nagaoka, it's kind of countryside. So we know, I remember somebody told me, for example, for the meat, if you take the meat from Australia and I don't know which other place, it's slaughtered, we can eat that. So you can ask for advice, but it's not really a problem, I think.
It's available once you ask. And
exactly.
And Japanese people, they are glad to help you.
Of course, they are so nice, and that's the thing I love the most about Japan. Everyone is ready to help. You can ask advice from everyone, and I don't think finding things or it's gonna be a problem for anyone.
Yes. And how did you manage to ask the help? Do you use Japanese? How did you manage to learn Japanese?
That's funny. Actually, when I came to Japan, I didn't know anything about the language. Not at all. I didn't even watch anything.
I know. Same in here.
I arrived here when I go to the company or anywhere, people, they say all the time, the tiny sound, they say "irashaimase." I say it back, "irashaimase." That was the stupidest and the most embarrassing thing that happened to me. I thought it was hello, I'm not used to the culture of someone saying. It was really funny. And nobody tried to correct. They were being so nice and "irashaimase." It means welcome. If you need any help, please ask. Something like that. It's like a welcoming word when you go to supermarket or company or anything. So that was the first mistake.
But slowly you could manage to learn.
And honestly, in the beginning, until 2-3 months, I always ask in English and expecting people to reply, and they are kind of not really comfortable, and they try to translate and stuff like that. But after that, I realized that it's really easier to try Japanese. Even if you don't speak Japanese, you can learn just nani nani doko desu ka? How can I go there? Where is this? Like simple phrases. It's really helpful, you know. But Japanese are all like really, really so nice, and they make sure that you get where you want thing. Exactly. So no matter what, no matter how. So like learning the language is really important. But if you don't speak the language, it's also okay. You can manage. Don't worry.
Don't worry. But if you can make a little bit of effort, so that would help you a lot to integrate.
Sometimes it can be problematic. Like for example, in Nagaoka, even in the station, the bus, there is no English at all. Nothing written in English. You cannot ask the driver in English. And I remember for the 2 first weeks in Nagaoka, I didn't have a SIM card, so no internet when I go out. So I sometimes I just get lost, and it was really difficult, you know.
But you could survive. You could make it.
Yeah, I made it.
And now you're having your job at Hiroshima. And you made the interview in Japanese.
Actually, like at first I felt so uncomfortable in Nagaoka. I said, why did I come here? There are basically no English speakers. It's the countryside. I don't meet like foreigners. It's not easy. At first, like I felt so bad. I said maybe I did the wrong choice. Maybe it's better for foreigners to go to big cities, Tokyo or Osaka.
Maybe it would be easier for them.
Easier, and I thought it was more interesting. But actually now I think the opposite. Like I feel like I was experiencing Japan. Like I was surrounded by the Japanese all the time, and I learned the Japanese the hard way. Like the fact that nobody speaks English pushed me to work harder on my Japanese and to learn it. And I feel like in the countryside, like the pace of life is slower. You can make activities. You don't have to take transportation. I don't take transportation at all. I live like near the campus.
your own pace of life.
Exactly. And plus, like in any campus, like in Japan, you will be meeting a lot of students. Like you are in kind of bubble, you know, the campus bubble. And whenever I want, I can travel and go visit the places I'm interested in. So
by the way, traveling in Japan is so easy. Like once you get used to the transportation
That's my favorite thing in Japan, actually. And you know that I travel all the time.
We have to, like, beside our studies or our job, it's good to take advantage of that.
We should. It's not just like especially for us. Like I think like for a foreigner here, we should experience Japan, not learn about Japan. Because learning about Japan, you can just study your language by yourself. You can watch, I don't know, YouTube videos, mangas, and anime, and
it's totally different once you arrive here.
You have to experience Japan. Like in Japan, I feel like especially the food culture, the onsen culture, you have to try them. You have to experience them. So every time I have the chance, whenever I have the chance, I try to travel to discover somewhere new, to do homestay. And when you travel, try to, I think like I push myself to try to stay in guest houses, and sometimes Airbnb. It's better than taking a hotel and being alone. You will meet people. You will meet people like travelers, and I think it's really important to travel in Japan.
Very amazing.
And Japan is one of the safest countries, especially for a girl
For
alone.
girls.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about
anything. Even if you lose your stuff, they will bring them to you. That's an advantage, really, like traveling. And maybe the transportation is a little bit expensive, but you can manage with only scholarship. You can manage to find like the good deals. There are like waribiki everywhere. You can choose the good, especially when you are a student. Like your time is quite flexible, you know, like you can finish your research early, you have vacations. So it's not like when you are a worker, you have to take the Shinkansen and airplane. There are very good deals for traveling in Japan and finding cheap stuff.
Enjoying your life in Japan.
Exactly, experiencing Japan.
I'm glad that you had a successful experience, and till now you are enjoying your stay in Japan.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for sharing your experience.
Oh, thank you. It's my pleasure. It was so nice talking to you. I know your experience is also very interesting, but you are supposed to be the interviewer right now. I cannot ask you. Although I would like to.
Okay, ask me.
Please share your experience in Japan.
I chose experience because at one time I was looking for the safest place in the world, and Japan.
So it was really a choice, like you just focused on Japan. Wow,
it's
that's more interesting than my story.
It's
Actually,
very safe, very unique, and something that you can learn. From like when you go out, you can learn and you challenge yourself and you can grow.
Yeah,
that's
and why Kyushu University?
Well, I was a little bit afraid of the earthquake. And I'm
like, foreigners saying that. Actually.
Yeah, even though it's very safe, like in all regions, but in Fukuoka, like in the Kyushu region, the south of Japan, it's safest. And Fukuoka is one of the best cities you can live in Japan.
But you have inundations sometimes, right?
Yeah, sometimes you have like that, but it's very safe. Yeah.
And what about the social life?
Social life,
I feel like every student and every foreigner here have a completely different experience with social life. Everyone like will give you different advices. Everyone will give you like different tips. So
okay, what about your advices? How?
No, please, it's my question.
Okay. Right.
Okay, so for me, I feel like I told you I was most of the time like surrounded by Japanese in my lab mates. I also joined like sport clubs. They were like all the students are Japanese, and when I started to learn the language, I was trying all the time to talk to them. They are so nice and they are so welcoming. So I feel like trying to make some Japanese friends, it's really helpful. You will understand better the culture. You will have recommendation. You will get the help you need sometimes. And I think like it's important to be positive, not to like don't put your standards in your mind you try to stick with your behavior and your how to say it like
don't be close-minded.
Exactly. Yeah, be open-minded and try to understand, because Japanese culture is so different from our. I cannot think of any similarities actually, and the way people think. So instead of trying to, why do they do that?
Exactly.
All the foreigners
do not judge.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Instead, try to understand.
Yes.
And you are in Japan. Like it's not like Japan came to you.
Yeah.
So you have to adapt yourself. You have to accept the differences.
Yes.
Try to give chance for everything like around you, like the food, the people, the activities. Maybe you will find that you like some stuff you didn't know that you can get interested in. So that's the most important. And
I agree.
social life in Japan, I think all the foreigners can agree that social life in Japan can be a little bit cold compared to other countries. Maybe because I don't think it's because we are different, but Japanese are so quiet.
Their culture.
Yeah, and people here are more busy than in other places. So it's the culture, you have to accept it, you have to
and
to
slowly integrate.
Exactly, you will make friends after a while. You can find a group of friends sharing your interests, because you will find like different groups of people. Everyone wants something different. You cannot fit everywhere, of course. You can try to find like people with the same interests, with the same I don't know, maybe sometimes the background, like if we are Muslims, you can find people like not drinking, people fasting in Ramadan. So try to give a chance to everything. Try to find your way, because if you keep judging people and why do they do that, and you will be alone. Believe me, and loneliness in Japan is the worst thing that can happen to you. So that's what I think of social life.
I agree, because it's you are already far geographically from your family and friends. So try to be open. And
don't expect to find people with your background, with your cultural background or beliefs, or just give a chance to everyone and try to find like the common stuff. Enjoy it, and it's gonna be okay for everyone.
It's gonna be amazing. After that, you will discover many things in yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. Actually, like one time they asked me to write a message in a magazine for high school students. I was like, what am I supposed to write for high school students? And then I said, like, after all, I can just like say my experience in 2 words. Actually, when I came to Japan, I was expecting to travel, to study, but then I found myself discovering myself, like some parts of myself that I didn't know at all. And sometimes I feel like for some aspects I feel I fit in Japan better than in my country. Like okay, it's different, but sometimes it's better for you as a person, you know. When you are far from your family or when you are far from your culture, it's like okay, I'm free now. I can model myself. I can mold myself, not model. Sorry, I talk too much. I'm starting to get tired. To mold yourself, and you can fit everywhere and just give a chance to everything.
Also, maybe I can add that getting your academic degree, you can get it from anywhere, like from Japan, Europe.
It's not that important for me. Like the degree, even like for the companies hiring. Honestly, I feel like they focus more on your personality. Is like they won't see like your research or unless they are really interested in some
like standards.
But so your personal experience, your personality is I think more important. So it's okay to focus on your study, to try to work hard, but really it's more important to have a social life, to travel, to experience new things, to build your personality, you know. So
that's it. So start to maybe we can end up.
But you didn't answer the question. Actually, it was meant for you.
That studying in Japan is not just about getting your academic degree.
Of course, it's never about
your personality will evolve and everything. And
actually, before coming to Japan, like we were graduated from the same university in Electromechanical Engineering, and then I worked for 2 years, and I felt like I was like in stable position. I got a good salary. I was satisfied with everything. But I came to Japan because I was interested in making an experience in Japan. It was not really about studying, you know. So for me from the beginning it was an experience in Japan more than the studying in Japan.
So you got the whole package, studying and experience. And
I think so, yeah.
We are glad for you, Amal-san. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. It was my pleasure. It was so nice talking to you.
Thank you very much, and we hope everyone can get successful experience as yours.
I hope they get better experiences.
Inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.